All right. Hello, YouTube. I am trying something new here. Trying to come up with something to do that's different that I have never done before. I'm sure other people have. But this is going to be my version. I'm using the iiRcade, and I'm going to go through the 80s here if this series goes well. I'm going to go through the 80s, and what I decided to do is I'm going to go with a list of top 10 arcade games based on unit sales. How many cabinets sold in each year through the 80s. Now, it's sketchy. It's hard to get good information. What I've done is I've done a little bit of searching. I use Grok, I use Gemini. I've just done some searches. There's not a whole lot of firm data, but it seems like I'm able to get consensus from multiple sources of approximately, most of these top 10 are the same games. So I think it's going to be fairly accurate. The numbers will be they're all going to be approximates, and it's all based on, how popular was the game and how many units sold overall. They're doing kind of math to figure out because there's no real data. But on every list I looked at, Pac-Man was number one. And I'm just 100% going off of my last search that I did. I bounced it off of stuff, and I'm just going to run with this one. So your mileage may vary. 1980, they're estimating about 30,000 units sold of Pac-Man. It was released in May of 1980, and by Namco Midway in the U.S. And obviously, everybody knows Pac-Man, the maze game, started the maze craze and all of that stuff. But yeah, this is number one. Oh, I'm not going to play Pac-Man right now. What I'm going to do, I'm going to run through this list, and I'm going to pick one of these games at random. It's not always going to be the top one. It's not always going to be number 4 or whatever. I'm just going to pick one that I've never done a video on, and I'll play one game of that along the way. Everything else, I'm just going to kind of show the screen. So Pac-Man is not the one I'm going to play for this year. So let's get on moving. And it's weird because I got to pause so I can switch on this. But let's go to the game number 2. Most things are saying this is about the second highest selling. All right, here we go. Number 2 on this list, Defender, Williams Electronics. They're estimating about 20,000 cabinets sold in 1980. It was released in February of 1980. And of course, most people know, if you're watching this, you probably already know Defender. Defender, side-scroller, crazy game, hard game. I'm not a big fan of Defender because I suck so bad at Defender. But yeah, you can see right here, shoot the little guys, catch the humans, drop them back down to safety, trying to keep everyone from getting abducted. You got the scanner on the top, so you know which way to go. It tells you right on there. It's pretty neat. It tells you whether they got a human on board or all that stuff. So, yeah, Defender, number 2 on this particular list. With the guesstimated numbers. Let's go on to number 3. Let's see what we got. Here we go. Number 3 on this list was Missile Command. One of the other lists, this was not number 3. I don't think Defender was number 2 on one of the other lists. Trackball game. This particular search is guesstimating 15,000 units were sold. That was released in July of 1980, so that's not bad. They sold 15,000 second half of the year. Trackball game. 3 buttons, one for each missile launch site, and your goal is just to protect those cities. Look at that top score up there, OGA. There you see it. This is the first one that I've had to boot into the iiRcade native because apparently the version I downloaded for the Viper board was the deluxe version. Missile Command though, about 15,000 cabinets sold in 1980. Let's go on to number 4. Let's see what we got there. Here we go. Centipede, another trackball game, back-to-back trackball games. They're saying Centipede sold about 12,000, and it was released a month sooner, released June of 1980 by Atari. Use that trackball. You can only move in the top, bottom, fifth of the screen, sixth of the screen. shooting those centipedes as they come down and working your way through all of that stuff. I have difficulty with this game. I'm not that great at this game. If you look at the high scoreboard there, you don't see OGA anywhere on there. Mike, the Gaming Road Warrior, he's pretty good at this game, though. But that's not saying a lot because Mike's good at a lot of games. So there we go. So Centipede is sitting number 4 on this particular list with about 12,000 cabinets sold. So let's move on and see what we got for number 5. Is it Galaga? Is it Galaga? No, it is not Galaga. It is Galaxian. I was hoping the thing would come up while I was saying that and it'd be all dramatic. No such luck. Galaxian. Is it going to even go through something? Here we go. Here we go. We Are the Galaxians. Destroy the Aliens. Released September 79, actually. So it came out in 79, but like I said, this is not a release date thing. This is how many units sold in 1980, and it's based strictly on popularity for the games and all that. So Galaxian came out near the end of 79, but in 80 they sold quite a few. They're estimating about 10,000 units sold in 1980. So it did pretty good. You can see right on there it's released by Namco, or Namco, I don't even know how to say it, Midway in the U.S. And yeah, it's the basics of Galaga, but not quite. So yeah, Galaxian, number 5. Let's go on to number 6. Oh, and I had to switch back to the Viper because I did not have this on my iiRcade. So, all right, let's go to number 6 and see what that is. All right, here we go. This is one of my early favorites, Asteroids. This was released in another one in November of 1979 is when it was released, but they sold about 8,000 units in 1980, making it in the top 10. Of course, it's made by Atari. You can see right down there, 1979 Atari Inc. Vector graphics. Yeah, for me, this one showed up in the local 7-Eleven. They replaced Space Invaders with this cabinet, and I loved it. If I remember correctly, Asteroids is one of the first ones that saved a high score, and this is the one I'm going to play in this. So let me see if I can't put a coin. I'm sweating. It's like 90 in here. I don't know if you can hear the air conditioner. Now, on the actual arcade cabinet, there were buttons for your spinning left and right. I think on the arcade here in the Viper, I have it set just with the joystick. I'm sure I could map the buttons, but I didn't. So, let's see. Gotta get the sound going. I always went with the method of don't fly too much. Whoa, look at this guy trying to sneak up behind me. You can only have, I think, 4 bullets out at a time, and you gotta kind of wait for them to disappear before you can shoot again. Oh, where is he? Oh, double death. Now, some people will go with that method where you leave one, and then you can just, make a living killing ships. You got the drift motion going on. Oh, that little prick. And then you do have a hyperspace button. You push that hyperspace. Ooh, but you don't know where you're going to come back. Boom, I blew up on re-entry. How do I get to the next letter? There we go. High score. 35-30, because I tried the hyperspace. Yeah, but I remember when this one came into the 7-Eleven down the street, one of my favorites. I really loved it. But let's see what we got next on this particular list. All right, so this is a little embarrassing. I don't have the original Space Invaders on my cabinet, either in iiRcade mode or on the Viper. This one seems scrunched, so I'm not sure what's going on there. Same basic premise, so everyone knows Space Invaders. Space Invaders came out in 1979 again. Actually, it came out in 78. So it's at the tail end of its run here. You know, it's already gone 78, 79. Now it's going into 1980. So it was released by Taito. I don't know. Midway in the U.S. That fixed shooter, you're just sliding across the bottom. You're shooting the Space Invaders as they're coming down. You have your little blockades you can hide behind, and the thing is just wipe out their whole lair. Obviously, as you can see there, you get your blockers can get blasted. You can shoot through them. That's just what I used to do. Shoot a little path through it. Hide behind there. But yeah, Space Invaders. About 5,000 units were sold in 1980. Not bad, considering it had already been out for 2 years. And like I said, this is the one that was at the 7-Eleven before Asteroids came in. So I played a lot of this, even though I'm not a huge fan of it. There were a lot of games that came out later that I liked a lot more than Space Invaders. But boy, it's hard to say anything bad because it was the king for a while there. So all right, let's go on and see what was number 8 on this particular list. All right, here we go. Coin detected in pocket. You know what that means? We're talking some Berserk here. Berserk, 5,000 units approximately sold in 1980, which is amazing because it didn't even release until November. So they sold a bunch of units at the end of the year. I would imagine in the 1981 video, this is also going to make an appearance because, yeah, if it was released that late in the year. Great game. 8-way joystick, as you can fire all the multiple directions. It's got, of course, the taunting. You end up leaving and they call you a chicken. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, I don't know. 2480 is my high score. But you can see I played it enough that I got the top 5. So I do like this game. And I like the next game a lot. Also, let's go see what that one is. All right, here we go. Wizard of War. Another great game. I don't know if you could hear that. It's telling me to put in a coin. Wizard of War came out in, I don't know the month. It just says 1980 in this one. I'm not sure. I should have looked it up, but I just now realized they didn't put the month on this one. They sold about 4,000 cabinets, so I'm guessing it came out late in the year. 2-player game, and you can shoot each other, or you can play trying to be friends. But yeah, you want to shoot all the baddies. Wizard will come out. Let's see, Dungeon Crawler, where players shoot monsters in a maze with 2-player co-op, and voice alerts, which is a big thing. I can't tell what he's saying, but he laughed. So Wizard of War was number 9 with 4,000 units sold. Let's check out what the 10th one is. It was not the 10th one on other lists. And I'll tell you a couple games that were on other lists that I saw when I get done with this. We'll do this next one, and then I'll tell you ones that were in the top 10 on other lists that I found. Here we go. All right, here we go. Number 10 on this particular list was Lunar Lander. Fun little game. My friend Marlinda, she agrees. She sends a Facebook message right there. She's saying she agrees. She was the Pepsi girl up in Arkansas when I worked there. But yeah, you basically want to try to land the little lunar lander before you run out of time and fuel. Pretty neat little game. Yeah, I'm not real good at it, but it was a fun game. I remember it came out in 79, though. This is not one that came out in 79. It's a simulation. You control the thrust and try to land on the surface. You can spin the ship around, a little thrust, but you will run out of fuel and just drop to your death. So I'll leave this playing over there while I look. Like I said, on one of my other lists, a lot of these were the same. This one had Pac-Man as number 1, then Asteroids as number 2, and then Defender, Missile Command, Berserk. Battlezone was on that list. So Battlezone was on there, then Space Invaders, Wizard of War, Rally X, and Phoenix. So since I don't really know, this will be like bonus material. Let's take a look at Battlezone, Rally X, and Phoenix. Let's see what those guys look like. All right, here's Battlezone. Battlezone, man, you had the thing you put up there. You had the twin sticks and then the trigger on there. A lot of people, my method was just hold it in reverse. You're backing away and then release on one of the sticks so you twist, fire off that shot, and get the heck out of the way. It was a really cool game. I don't have any of the information because this is just the bonus. Atari 1980. That's all I know. And this list was saying they sold 15,000 units. But like I said, these are all guessing. So Battlezone, first of our honorable mention. Great game. Love that game. Let's go check out the next honorable mention, which will be Rally X. All right, here we go. Rally X. By dodging red cars and rocks, clear 10 flags before fuel runs out. Simple. Rally X. Really fun game. Really love this game. This one was estimated about 8,000 units sold of Rally X. It seems like most of these numbers are a little higher on this list. I only went with the other list because I also had to put a little blurb with the month it was released and all that stuff. This list didn't have it. That's why I went with the other list. But yeah, Rally X. You got the map over there so you know where your flags are that you need to get. You can see the enemies on there. You can't see the rocks, though, so you can get yourself in a jam. And you don't see the actual layout of the maze. But, yeah, cool game. Really like it. Let's move on to the last honorable mention, because it's on this list, not the other list. Let's see what we got. All right. I didn't think I was going to get this one to load. It kicked me out the first time. Here it comes in. Phoenix. Not just the place I grew up, but also a video game. And from what I've heard, I think Retro Man Randy Savage's wife, this was one of her favorite games. Phoenix. They estimate 7,000 to 8,000 units sold in 1980 of this game. Kind of has a Galaga feel, but it's pretty neat. When the big birds come out, you can shoot off their wings and stuff like that. It's not just straight out. You know, you got all these different levels and stuff like that. Yeah, you hit those guys, blow off their wings. But, or get blown up. So, yeah, Phoenix. That was number 10 on the original list I pulled up. But, yeah, it didn't make it on the other list. So, yeah. Like I said, if people like this, I am going to go ahead and do every year in the 80s. And, like I said, this is not an official list. If you think this is the wrong way of doing it, let me know in the comments. I don't know, but I'm just guessing, and I just did a search, like I said, to see what sold the most units. Not necessarily what got played the most. I don't know. Maybe that would be a better search to do, but I just got the idea. Let's do what sold the most units in 1980, and then next month will be 1981. And I would think some of these will make repeat, because if it just came out at the end of 1980, they're going to sell a lot of units in 81 if it did well. So we could have some repeat contestants in there. So yeah, I'm going to end the video here. There was something else I was going to say to wrap this up, but then when Phoenix kicked me out and I thought I was going to have to bump into the iiRcade, I forgot what it is. Most of these games, because they are popular games, I have both on the iiRcade and on the Viper. Some of them I didn't. These last two, I think all three of these, Battlezone, Rally X, and Phoenix, I played on the Viper. And there were a handful that I had to go over to the iiRcade side, which I have working brilliantly on here. So, all right, it is hot. I am sweating. Thanks for watching. Let me know in the comments if you like this, if you think it's a good idea, or if you think, stop wasting your time. But anyway, or if you'd like to see more gameplay, less talky talk. But I just thought it'd be cool to run through it and see what it is and pick one of the random ones and play a game of it. So thanks for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace!